All right, so we're coming to you from the shop this morning, and you can see the weather report is cool and rainy. In the middle of August, this is really unusual. Temperature dropped about 25 degrees and it started raining, so it's 70 degrees and raining for August is really unusual. And Stella is not sure what to think about it. But there still may be a squirrel to be had because squirrels like rain, right, Stella? And they're probably out eating their nuts. Go get them. You should go get those squirrels. She hears me talking about squirrels. And what do we have here in the shop today? Something we don't normally see. I've done actually a few videos on this car. It seems to turn up about once a year. And ironically, it turns up for the same reason. And let me explain. This is a 1981 Honda Accord Coupe. You don't see these very much anymore. This one's in really good shape. And it's sort of a family, how do I explain this? So the father bought it originally back in 1981 and then passed it on to his son, who's getting up there in age. And then they then passed it on to their grandson. So skipped generations. So there's 4 generations involved with this car. And of course, the older people want to keep it original, and the younger grandson has sort of turned it into a science experiment with adding new parts and changing things. And I'm the cleanup guy. So about once a year, I have to fix all the things that the grandson and or somebody has monkeyed with. You'll notice the sealed beam headlights are now gone, and now we have LEDs, which is really too bad, but it's what it is. The car came in yesterday with a laundry list of problems. Where do I even start here? Let's start in the back. I think I got to show you something first. It's got a beautiful interior. You can see the seats have all been redone. The dash is in great shape. Good morning, Ron. And I got to show you something from the back here. This is the timing belt cover, which you can see has been modified in a sense that is not necessarily good. So the grandson put on a new alternator, but the pulley basically interfered with the timing belt cover and chewed a huge hole in it, as well as you can see the belt scrape marks. So the alternator is not right. The shaft's actually too long. I don't know how that got messed up, but not only that, I had to rewire the alternator because it wasn't working. This is a non-internally regulated alternator. The regulator is actually over there. It's that shiny little box on the wall there. And it took me a while to figure out how to wire this correctly, the field, how to energize it, to get the light to go off and actually make it charge. And now that I have the wiring correct, I can actually put the correct alternator on that has a slightly shallower shaft so that we can put the timing cover back on or find a new timing belt cover. So that's just one thing. I have to adjust the valves, adjust the idle, tune it up, change the oil, fix some things like this hose that's not quite right. That's a dryer hose from Home Depot where it should be a black hose that's original. Battery needs to be held down. A lot of just little things. But besides that, this is a really great car. Let me back up so you can get a better look at it. It's a 1981 Honda Accord Coupe. You just don't see these anymore. This one is equipped with an automatic transmission and a air conditioning system. So for the most part, it's in really good shape, and I think they're getting ready to sell it. They want me to fix it up so they can sell it. There's a package tray that needs to go in the back here. Actually, that is wedged behind the seat. I've got to figure that out, and a lot of other little things. Let's take a look at the interior because this car is truly remarkable. One thing you'll notice as you open the door is the velour door cards with the light in it. That was pretty luxurious back in 1981. It did have a remote mirror adjustment here, like a little joystick that you would turn. That has now broken off, unfortunately, for the single mirror. There was no mirror on the passenger side. I think that was an option, and it just wasn't considered necessary back then. All right, let's take a look at the driver's compartment. I got to pull the key here because it's driving me crazy. Okay. Turn the key off. So we're looking at the dash, and of course we have our unique little coin purse here. That's really cool. We have our knobs to open and shut the vents. You don't see that anymore. And beneath that we have our rear window defroster, our rear window wiper with washer, and then our dimmer for our dash lights. Of course, our combination switch here for the turn signals is really big. You don't see that anymore. Horn button. And then our dash itself. Let's turn the key on and I'll show you some things here. You can see it shows the door open and the tailgates open. That was really unusual for 1981. That was cutting edge. And if you look over in this corner here down at the base of the tachometer, you'll see it has the indicator for the drive. If I put my foot on the brake and I pull it into gear, you see reverse, neutral, drive, two. You just don't see that anymore. For 1981 to have a digital readout like that, that's crazy. Let me shut the door here. Okay, so the door's shut. We are looking at what, 16,000 miles, probably 116,000 miles, and we have the maintenance reset stuff for tire rotation, oil change, oil filter. So cool. I forget how you do that. You do that. I think you press this little button to reset those. Part of the trip thing there. And we do have a quartz digital clock. It's actually a little off. It's not reading right. But when it flips over, it's so cool. Like it should go to 10 o'clock here pretty quickly. And the whole thing just flips and makes this buzzing noise. It's really neat. I hope I can catch it without wasting too much time. We'll keep that in our view while we look at some other stuff here. So we're looking at the HVAC controls. We've got the fan, the air conditioning, high-low heat, and then our old-fashioned tape player with an ashtray. And beneath that we have our gear shift selector for automatic, and the window is missing the letters. I'm not sure. Keep waiting for this to turn over. I want to see that go to there. It just went. Oh, that's so cool. Made a nice satisfying click. Okay, Honda on the door, or I'm sorry, Honda on the dash to know what kind of car you're riding in, and of course no rear view mirror external on the passenger side. Of course we have to have an ashtray down here on the passengers door panel just in case you want to smoke a little bit. Again, the seats have been recovered. The headliner is beautiful. The back seat is beautiful. It's really a nice example. So we're going to get to work on fixing this car up. I'm going to turn the key off here. And I'll take another look at the outside. But I've got a lot of work to do on this thing. But just wanted to show you, it's got I believe it's a 1.8 liter engine. With it's not a CVCC, I do not believe, but it's of that style and vintage. Probably the 2 or possibly the 3 barrel carburetor. Really neat. Being that it's air conditioned, it's actually got the bigger radiator with the 2 fans. Neat old car. You just don't see these anymore. Comes with the vacuum diagram on the hood there, in case you break a vacuum line. And it was catalyzed. Really neat. All original. Of course, the hood flips up from the reverse side. It's just not a car that you see anymore. And I love working on it, even despite the family issues of somebody trying to hot rod a car that really should just be left alone. All right, well, thanks for watching, and thanks for staying tuned and checking out my channel. Really appreciate you guys. Just want to give you one more eyeful of this beautiful old classic Honda. Look at them taillights. You just don't see them anymore. That's really neat. All right, beautiful little car. It's going to be a beautiful day once the rain stops, and enjoy this nice cool weather. And let's get to work and make this thing a good driver. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.